Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the second part of my Golang tutorial series. And the special thing about today's tutorial, and hopefully all the tutorials coming after this video, is that they will have a text-based tutorial that I've created on a personal website. That website will be linked in the description, and with it you can follow along using the code snippets that I have, as well as explanation for the code. Although I do suggest for you to watch the videos as well, as it helps grow the channel, as well as it helps with my verbal explanation. Okay, so in this tutorial we will learn about short declarations, structures or structs, and mapping. Okay, let's get right into the video. The first thing we're going to learn about is how to declare variables in a much more efficient manner. So in the previous video we learned that we can declare variables in the following ways. We create a variable, and then we can call it like data or something, and it could be like an integer, and it will be, I don't know, like 15 or so. Okay? It can also just be var data is equal to 15, and that also works. The only reason there's a red line is because I just didn't use it in the compiler. But aside from that, it still is grammatically correct. However, there's also this thing called the declarative operator. This declarative operator is used to, what's it used to? Sorry. Yeah, it's used to help make the code a lot more concise and quicker to write. So let me first just import this library called reflect. Okay? Alright, let's suppose if I have a variable, okay, and I want it to be called, I don't know, age, all right? And instead of saying var age int, I can just go var declarative operator is equal to 5, okay? All right, and now let's just print that out. So I'm going to go fmt.println age, all right? And then I'm also going to print out the type of variable it is. I'm just going to do this just to show you guys that it's still an integer, even though I haven't declared it. Type of age. Okay. Now let's just run this. So cd go tutorial go run main.co. So yeah, as you can see, we have a 5 and an int. All right. There's also so right now, as you look at it, it seems like a bit of a kind of something that's like, oh, it's there, but what's its really main use, right? But currently, we've only scratched the surface as to what declarative operators can do. Declarative operators can also help in switching variables around. Okay, so let's suppose if I have let's suppose if I have the values, I don't know, 12 and let's suppose if I have the values 12 and 15. Okay, now let's suppose if I want to map these two values to two variables. Let's just call them A and B. All right. With the use of a declarative operator, I can simply take more than one variable and map them together. This is especially useful in the MySQL library, which we might explore in another video, but not for this video. So let me just print that out. So fmt.println, I can print out A, and I can also print out B. Okay, now let's just run this. So clear it. Go run main.go. Okay, and as you can see, we have 12 and 15. Another usage of the declarative function, which is for structs. We will be exploring structs in a minute, but I just want to show you guys the usage of the declarative operator in a function. So what we can do is create a function and have it stored inside of a variable via the declarative operator, and then it will be called upon later. So let me show you guys. So let's suppose if I have a hidden function, all right, and I'm gonna put in a declarative operator, and I'm gonna call upon, and I'm gonna make a function, all right, and the function, it doesn't do much, okay, it just prints out we are inside of a function, all right. We are in a function. Okay, so now this variable hidden function holds the value of function. All right, now we can just go fmt.println hidden func. All right, so go run main.go. All right, and once I run that, oh yeah, so we get the pointer value, and I've actually made a video on pointers in Golang that's also attached to this video series, but I forgot to just add the brackets. All right, so if I were just to go run main.go, what's up? Hidden func used as value. It appears that there's a minor error. Oh, right, you can't print out something that's going to print something out because this is a function itself, right? So what I need to do is just call upon the function as if I was running a function that's like a normal function. So remove the fmt.println statements. So go run main.go. And then as you can see, we are now in a function. The next thing we will be exploring is called struts. So for any of you coming from another object-oriented programming language, you will notice that Golang does not have a proper object-oriented programming system. This makes Go have a slight disadvantage. However, to help combat this disadvantage, what programmers have done is, what programmers have done exactly is create structs. Structs can be found in other non-OOP languages such as, C. Okay, so what structs can help you do is hold multiple values of a certain a certain template and hold it inside of a certain variable. Okay, so that doesn't really make too much sense right now, but I'm going to explain it to you. I'm going to show you guys in a moment, and that might help. That will help you. So let's suppose if I'm making a map app, okay, which I actually am, by the way. All right, and it's going to be called coordinates. All right, that's my structure, right? So first of all, I'm going to write type coordinate struct, and this is going to be outside of my main function because I only want to call it whenever I need it. All right, and it's going to have two values. It's going to have latitude and longitude. All right, latitude and longitude. Okay, you can also write it like this so that I just remove the int and then I just go like that. So that also works, but I suggest doing it like this because it's a lot cleaner and easier to debug errors with. Okay, now let's just call upon our coordinate structure. So we can just go, let's just create a variable and let's call it maps. Yeah, maps. All right, and we're going to set it equal to the coordinates value. Okay, and I'm going to write two coordinates. I'm going to write 50 and I'm going to write 100. Okay. All right, and now I can just go fmt.println and I can just go maps. All right, now let's just run this. So go run main.go. So as you can see, we can now clearly view our entire struct altogether. What's this? Okay, so there, Go. Okay, so the reason why there's a red error is that Go sometimes has an issue with importing and with with dependency issues, but that's not a problem. Like, there's no syntactical mistake. In fact, Go is still working correctly right now, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. Okay. The next thing and the final thing we will be exploring is called maps. Maps can be used, so maps are also known as dictionaries in Python and are a very advanced data structure that are used in literally every single programming language to make their code more efficient. Maps use a key value pair, and I've actually made a video on this where I explore how maps work in Java and Python and the underlying pure logic of it. If you guys want, you guys can watch that video. I will have it linked in the description. In fact, I suggest you pause the video and go and watch that because that will help you guys get a much stronger sense of what I'm talking about. Okay? Now, I'm going to take your word for it that you guys did watch the video. So, all right. Now, this is how you would initialize structs or maps. So, let's first create a map, and I'm going to call it data. Var data. And it's going to be a map and then we initialize the values. So there's a key value pair, right? So we can actually use a string as our key, and our value could be like an array or a list of things. It can even be a struct, and that's what we're going to be using. So what all we need to do is we're going to do is map, and then in square brackets write string and coordinates. All right. So now I've created a hash map called data that has that will have the key value pair of a string and a coordinates. All right. Now we can actually create the map that we've built. So it's going to be called data is equal to make, and then we just insert the values. So all right. Okay, now the next thing we're going to want to do is insert some table values. For an example, okay, well, suppose we want to know the location of the White House per se, okay? All right, White House, okay, which is equal to coordinates and 20, 11. All right, now let's suppose if we want to know the location of I don't know, the black, actually that's racist. We're gonna go with the Red House. Okay? And the coordinates will be, I don't know, like 9 and 11. Okay? Alright, so now what we've done is we've created a table which has a key value. So the key is the White House, and the value would be the coordinates. So like the coordinate structure itself. Okay, and now we can actually print out the entire data. So let's actually just print all of this out. It's going to print out data. All right, good. So we're just going to clear this. Go run main.go. So yeah, as you can see, we've created a map, and it shows like the key value. So the key is Red House. Let me just check if you guys can see that properly. Yeah, the key is Red House, and the value is 911, and then the White House would be 2011. Okay. All right. So that's the end of the video for today. In maybe if I make a trilogy of this, technically it's a trilogy and one spinoff. If I do make it, I will explore a bit more on structs because I know that I've only given you guys a brief introduction to it. There's the text-based tutorial that I will have linked in the description. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them in the comments. I will be happy to help you. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like, share, and subscribe. All right. Thank you, guys. Have a nice day.